Alright, so one of Cold War's biggest controversies at the moment is the Scorestreak system. In case you guys don't know, Scorestreaks persist after death, and have much higher point values than they used to. And when you call one in, you have to wait 90 seconds before you can start earning points towards it a second time. So the streaks we have here are expensive, they persist after death, and they have a cooldown after you call them in. These are not technically support streaks, these do not function the same way as requisitions did in COD World War II. This is a new system and it does reward good players. I want to get that out of the way really fast here. It does not reward a bad player with a high streak. Here's some simple math that Exclusive A shared with us, and again, I have to use other people's information because I was not invited to the alpha thingy, so whatever. Either way, it would take you 20 separate 3-kill streaks in order to get the highest streak in the game, which is the Chopper Gunner for 6,000 points. So in order to quote-unquote abuse this system, you're going to have to go on a 3-kill streak 20 times. That means you have to get 60 kills in a game in order to get a Chopper Gunner. And this is what started my idea for this video. And I'm pretty sure a 1 KD player has to get around 120 kills worth of score, and that is rough. So no, a bad player that doesn't play Call of Duty and is just, home after kindergarten and wants to hop on, no, they're not going to be getting Chopper Gunners. You're going to have to get at least 60 kills, and that's if you are having a 3 KD game, a perfect 3 KD game. As you progress through your streak, you start to get a streak multiplier bonus to your score, where you can start getting around 500 score per kill, even in something like kill confirmed or domination. That is an incredible amount of score per kill, and it starts to kick in, I think, around a bloodthirsty or a little bit more. So you have to go on a streak in order to build up a score multiplier. It's around 15 kills to get the Chopper Gunner in one life if you just keep going, but here comes some of my negativity. Somebody doesn't have to go on a 15 streak to get it, and no, they shouldn't be trying to get 3 kills every life and get 60 kills throughout the game to get it. No, neither of those things really work. What works, and what is kind of scary, is that somebody could go on a merciless streak and then die and not lose any progress towards their Chopper Gunner. And see, for me, I'm kind of bad at going on long streaks, I'll fully admit it. I'm kind of reckless and I get in my own head. That's a weakness that I have to overcome every time I go for longer streaks in any Call of Duty game. But I'm pretty capable of going on an 8-kill streak and then maybe later a 10-kill streak. My performance doesn't have to be consistent, it just has to be in the match. And this is where I can see Treyarch's design philosophy for this coming in. They don't want you to have a good life, they want you to have a good game. A lot of times, a good Chopper Gunner just comes from somebody having a good life, which in Call of Duty could mean luck, skill, abuse of some mechanic, something along those lines. Encouraging people to have a good life when they respawn sort of incentivizes camping, methodical play, and it does make people nervous to go out and actually do anything in the game because they might die. Then only the really, really good players end up getting high streaks, but on the opposite end of the spectrum with a traditional system, so does the scaredy player, so does the camping conservative player that doesn't really know how to push effectively and win consistently. I sort of fall in between that. I know how to go on a long streak, I just get in my head almost every time I do. It's a problem. I feel like Treyarch wants you to have a good match. They don't just want you to respawn and go, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go for a Chopper Gunner this life, and now I'm gonna play conservatively, I'm going to avoid the objectives because those are hot spots. They don't want you to do that. Even in Black Ops 2, I remember watching some people go for high streaks in Black Ops 2 domination, and they would still stay away from the flags, even though the flags would give them good score, because it would make them an easier target. When your life ends your streak, people will try to protect their life. That's why whenever I'm playing objective game modes with my buddies, I let them play the objective, and because I'm the best gunfight winner on our team, surprisingly, I'm actually able to go and get streaks and get VTOLs and get a Wheelson and, push the enemy team a different way. Going onto the hardpoint makes me a bigger target and a big magnet for grenades and C4, so I have to avoid the objective if I want to go on long streaks. Not always, nothing I'm saying here is 100%, there's a lot of variety and lots of variables when it comes to online FPS games and Call of Duty games, so I know that not everything plays out as it does on paper or in my mind. Anyway, Treyarch wants you to have a good game. They want you to keep pushing the objective, they want you to keep trying to capture that B flag, they want you to shoot down streaks, they want you to be a proficient player throughout the entirety of the game, not just for that one life, for a sort of ace in the hole. When I go on a long streak in hardpoint and I end up getting a chopper gunner or a VTOL in my back pocket, it's nice to keep it until we need it later. And then usually after I get a streak in my back pocket, I start to play a little bit more aggressively. Whereas now, I have no reason to not play aggressively every time I feel like it. I'm encouraged to. These are score streaks, and I don't get punished for going out onto the B flag, grabbing that score, and dying. My streak is still persisting, so it was worth it for me to go for that B flag every time. And I still have to be proficient with the kills that I'm getting. So if I had a perfect 3 KD game, like Exclusive Ace found, it would still be 60 kills. I'd have to get 60 kills in an entire game. 60 kills is high. Even for a good player, no one's gonna say that 60 kills in a 6v6 game isn't high. So I'm gonna have to mix in some 4 and 5 kill streaks, I'm gonna have to mix in some objective play, so even if I'm bad, I'm going to have to play my ass off if I want to get a streak by the end of the game. I look forward to seeing how a Call of Duty plays when nobody's worried about losing their streak, they're worried about maximizing their score. This might be a direct response to people complaining about the camping in Modern Warfare, because as we've seen already in Cold War is going to have some larger maps, some messier maps. These aren't traditional competitive 3-lane maps. These are more traditional old school COD looking maps in my opinion from what I've seen. They're messy, they're convoluted, and I like that. But they have a working minimap. They have a ninja perk which allows you to sprint a lot quieter. And your streaks do not reset when you die. You're encouraged to maximize your score, not maximize your survivability. Which might mean we get a good mix of variety when we play the game. The maps cater to a multitude of playstyles. Camping, sniping, rushing, flanking, whatever. At least that's how it appeared to me. But then the gameplay mechanics, working minimap, a ninja perk, and no resetting score streaks after death, we might be in for a good mix of experiences, because a complicated play space where everybody's encouraged to go ham, that's actually kind of a cool idea on paper. The thing about Cold War that's sort of bothering me is that a lot of the things seem okay on paper. The time to kill, these score streaks, they don't sound bad, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of room for abuse and frustration, kind of like there is in every single FPS game. But these systems have a lot of vulnerabilities. I mentioned them in my TTK video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, I recommend it. That video talks about how crossplay is going to affect it, how flinch could affect it, how rate of fires and recoil patterns could affect it, and how having a longer time to kill on the body and a really fast time to kill on the head could really create some inconsistencies. And with this score streak system, I'm more interested to see how does it affect certain game modes and certain maps. Like we know this in Call of Duty, some game modes just give you less score, and some maps just don't allow you to get as much score as you normally would because of the increased size or complexity or the distance between the objectives. Also, if they have a perk like Hardline, how is that perk going to work? How is that going to behave? Also, Cold War is going to be using the Black Ops 4 EKIA system instead of a traditional kill system. So getting a certain percentage of damage onto somebody basically nets you the same amount of points as a finished kill. Essentially, there are two different types of kills. There is an EKIA, which means basically you got a really glorified assist, and then an elimination where you actually start to get your streak bonus. I'm pretty sure, but again, we'll have to see how all of that plays out. I hope the way the Hardline perk works is that it removes the cooldown on your streaks and makes 2 EKIAs count as a single elimination. I think that would be very cool. But I don't know how that's going to play out because now we have the wildcard system and people can have 6 perks. So having a perk that powerful combined with another perk in the same tier, the trade-off game won't be the same, but I don't know. Hopefully the game pans out, but these systems, I don't know, I think Treyarch isn't covering every base, and when the average player gets their hand on the game, when we all get our hands on the game, we're gonna find a lot of the holes in Treyarch's design philosophy here, I feel like. That's the vibe I get from this, but on paper, things seem okay, or at the very least, interesting. So how do you feel about the game promoting score optimization instead of survivability? What do you think about them promoting more aggressive gameplay with Black Ops Cold War? And how do you feel about streaks not resetting when you die? I'm personally optimistic, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.